Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets.
It's all looking like it's going to work out for Kobbie Mainoo. The young boy has been freed. He's playing football again. Michael Carrick trusts him. And in the last couple of weeks, Ruben Amorim's left the club. We've seen Casemiro say that this is his last season. And then all of a sudden, it's now pivoted to Kobbie and the contract talks are about to begin. Man United have already reached out to his reps. Man United have already sort of said, listen, we are on this. We want this to happen. We want to keep Kobbie at this club. And this is going to be a contract which reflects, okay, it is important to the team, but also bring his wages up in line with someone who is a solid first team player. So for me, this is good news. For me, this is what I've wanted to see. I want to see our best assets, our best young talent, some of the best talent in Europe in terms of his age. I want to see that commitment to keeping those type of players at our football club and developing them. Doesn't have a divine right to start every game and play 90 minutes. He's got to put the work in. He's got to show attitude. He's got to show improvement. But we have to upend our end of the bargain. And with Ruben Amorim here, we weren't doing that. This guy was told he can't play because Bruno's there. He was told he can't play because Casemiro's there. And all of a sudden, now he can. And now he's got to start playing well, which he started to make a good situation of that. Lock him down. Get the contract sorted. Obviously, don't do anything stupid and make mad. Don't put him on 300 grand. Don't break the same wage structure we're trying to change. But bring him in line to what, you know, a top talent in Europe should do, should be on. That's what I want to see. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Big up to each and every single one of you. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, let's go indeed. It's exciting. It is 48 hours away, Fleck, from Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates. There's a bit of chess, there's a bit of confidence, and there's a lot going on in the world of Manchester United. Casemiro, it's announced that he's leaving Manchester United at the end of the season. We kind of knew that. Kobbie Mainoo, is he going to put pen to paper on a new contract? Things are in flux. Things are changing, if you will. And there could be a bit of an overhaul in the summer. But you know, there's one thing that maybe you should possibly overhaul. That is your health goals this year in 2026, yeah? Because it's still early. People are going, oh, I've started my New Year's resolutions or I've kind of already broke them. Hey, Flex, there's plenty of the year left. There's plenty of the year left. You know, start today. Don't start tomorrow. And by today and by start, what do I mean? I mean, get optimized. How can you do that? Oh, look at that sidebar. And the roll VT.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA, and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings, and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover, and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes, it isn't the only thing that Don Robbie's going to be losing this weekend. He's also going to be losing 3 points in addition to all of the weight that he's lost. How did he lose said weight? Well, I'll tell you, you can scan that QR code right there. You can save up to 70% off your first order. All you got to do is use the code UV. You can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. You can get them individually or combined. Whatever you need, you can customize it to whatever your goal is. As always, all the information is in the video description below, or the link is pinned in the chat as well. You can go to the landing page, find out more, and get optimized today.
Get
optimized today. Yes, Fleck. It was a busy one yesterday evening because we got more about Kobbie Mainoo. Now that Kobbie has been freed, and everything's completely fine at Manchester United, and he's playing games, and Michael Carrick's got the arm around his shoulder. The next thing to sort out is this contract situation, of course, which has been rumbling on for a very long time, frankly, hasn't it? A really long time prior to the last Euro as well. Rob Dorset dropped an exclusive saying that Manchester United are ready to open new contract talks with Kobbie Mainoo. A big decision, of course, was made over Casemiro yesterday, in which he was announced that he's leaving the club at the end of the season when his contract expires. And Rob Dorset said that he has been told that United want to tie down another midfielder who is key to the future. Kobbie is one of the lowest earners in the first team, having signed that new deal in, what was it, like 2023? I think it was. He signed that deal. The new deal reportedly would bring him more in line with his teammates. What teammates specifically, we'll have to wait and see. In terms of a bit more of a thorough explanation about this as to what is actually going on, in the article written by Rob Dorset, he says it's understood there has actually been contact with the representatives with a plan to sit down, discuss the details of a new and improved contract. Like I said, one that would get him more in line with his teammates. Fabrizio Romano saying that Kobbie's contract is now a priority for Manchester United. Kobbie is happy to stay, with talks set to begin soon. United see him as a crucial part of the future.
The contrast,
Manchester United.
The contrast,
I know, and this is kind of what
manager didn't rate him. This is what it was like. He didn't.
But just to be a little bit on this is kind of what I was saying last night with James on Trafford Talk. And it's kind of an extension of what we were talking about a couple of days ago. I think the contract situation and the Ruben situation, they were kind of separate issues that started to bleed together. You know what I mean? That started to overlap. Kobbie has been having underlying issues with the club, shall we say, pre-Ruben Amorim. Right? Like United have always wanted to sign him to a long-term deal. They've been trying to figure that out for like a year and a bit. But whether or not, timing with the Euros or timing with Eric leaving and a bit of flux in terms of people coming in, Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada starting and this, that, and the other. It's for whatever reason, got put off. Then Ruben Amorim came in and, to your point, was like, not really fancying Kobbie the way I play. And that made the existing contract situation worse. And then it snowballed into what it is now. So I still don't think this is super straightforward as maybe people are playing it up to be. Like, Ruben's gone. New contract will be signed in a couple of weeks. It'll be completely fine. I still think, in my opinion, there's still the hurdle that was there before, isn't there? Of like, okay, what's the wage looking like? Do you have what do you think is fair for you in terms
they're still negotiating. Yeah, they're still negotiating.
There's still like I just felt like they kind of both things got lumped in together. Like, you know what I mean? Because it got so bad with Ruben, it was like, Ruben's this thing that's stopping him signing this new contract at Manchester United. And that's the only thing. And that certainly made things worse, but I still think there are hurdles to come. That is my point.
Yeah, I would say there's hurdles to come because you still got to agree on the wage. Like, that was always there. Like, the normal bit of a contract negotiation, I don't think it was any more than that. I think it was always, what do you think you should be getting versus what we think you should be getting, and we'll go from there. But there was a willingness from both parties. What Ruben changed was that. Ruben changed a willingness from both parties because his decisions and how he decided he saw Kobbie Mainoo as a player in his team, or lack of, is what Kobbie said made Kobbie go, I'm not at that table anymore. Yeah. I'm now not at the table. I want to leave. Now, what we also must remember is that it was always he wanted to leave on loan. It was never a permanent thing. At the beginning of the reporting, it kept going on to the point where, have I made this up? Or I think that it did turn into like, actually, he would look at permanent.
Like I said, the waters got really muddied, didn't they? Because it started off to get a new contract. Then that turned into, like you said, I'm not playing, so I still would want to get this contract thing sorted, but I'll leave on loan.
I'll go on loan.
And then when I come back, the spot will be open for me. I'll have played a bit more and we'll figure it out then, kind of thing.
But
and
then
that turned into I'm not playing at all. The club are saying things about me. I'm saying things about the club. You know, my brother's coming out and doing this, and this is happening. Like,
I just need to get the hell out of here.
It entered into that like Rashford death spiral towards the end, where both are going at each other through the media You know what I mean? And it would just
the
destination was he was going to leave. Let's be honest.
He was going to leave, but we still I think we don't know whether it got to the bit of 1,000,000,000% I want to leave on a permanent. We maybe don't know that bit.
I think he was out.
It was leading towards that, but because we never the biggest clarity we got was that I just don't want to be here right now while this is going on. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even if we just be political and stick to that. If we're guessing guys and we're going fast to put a tenner down, I think if Ruben would still be the manager where they can clearly see they're backing him, which means there's definitely no space for you, he would have left on permanent. So let's just say both are true, yeah. But what I'm saying is that Ruben Amorim is the one, even if the thing that pre-existed before, Ruben Amorim is the one who made it worse, who made it absolutely worse because he didn't give him any game time, didn't give him any starts this year, and didn't see him as part of the team. Said you need to play instead of Bruno, said you need to stay. I don't see you playing instead of Casemiro or with Casemiro. But basically, we've been through this. We all said at the beginning of the season when Ruben said that, you're telling Kobbie he ain't going to play. And guess what? Don't do you're just sensationalist. The season went on and he didn't play. He didn't play. He had 2 starts all year. And one of them was when Amorim weren't even here. Do you know what I mean? The one against Brighton. So he only had 1 start under Amorim, which was the one where we embarrassingly lost to Grimsby. And then that was it. So let's be honest. Let's call that out. Ruben Amorim spiraled that to make Kobbie go, well, I'm obviously not going to play here. I'm leaving. The first bit was always going to be about, I'm like one of the lowest paid players here. I'm like, I know we do the whole, you're young, what have you, but in his camp, he's scored in an FA Cup final. He's one of the most, talked about and biggest talents in Europe. He's played at the top level for England and gone to the final. I shouldn't be on 20 grand a week. I should be on more than that. And that's in line. That's what's in line with the going rate, what everyone's on in the team. Here's the thing. Now, people confuse that to thinking, so you think it's all right that he's going to come and hold the club to ransom and be asking for 180 grand, 200 grand, 250. This is what we're doing. That's a different argument. No, I don't. But we do need to bring him in line with like what the going rate is for somebody who's doing what he was doing until this manager came in and said, you're not doing it anymore. I don't rate you like that. So, he's not a young kid like coming in like Aiden Heaven, or he's not a young kid who's like Shea Lacey getting a couple of appearances on the bench. He ain't that guy. If everything's going right like it was, he's starting every game for Man United until Ruben got it.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's like with everything at Manchester United, it's not as straightforward as people make it out to be, I think. I think there definitely was an issue there. I think, like you said, Amorim, absolutely. Like there was a small spark of an issue, maybe a bit of a small, I wouldn't even call it a blaze, a fire, but just a small little thing, small little campfire of a thing. And then Ruben, with his, system, tactics, selection, choice of words, or what have you, just poured a lot of petrol or diesel onto that fire and it exploded. The question now becomes is, where does he fit into this wage structure, right? At Manchester United, where does he fit? I mean, again, this is capology. Kieran Maguire calls it crapology. We know Casemiro is going to go. So the highest paid player is going to be Bruno Fernandes. Kobbie Mainoo is currently, you have to scroll down, 25 allegedly, more in line with like your Diego Leons and Fredricksons allegedly. Imagine, is Tyler Fredrickson on the same amount as Kobbie Mainoo? Surely
that's crazy. See what I'm saying? I know it could be crapology. Look at Diego Leon and Fredrickson. If I'm even that, even just off that, I'm banging down the door. You're like, I'm kicking down the door and saying, bro, that's not running. I know you can say
in that group of people there, in that group of that group of people there, Kobbie Mainoo is an outlier, isn't he?
Of course he is.
He's a massive outlier in that.
It's crazy.
So you would say,
see that.
So where should he be then? Should he be?
Here's where it gets sticky, though. This is why it gets sticky.
In around this, this area.
Here's what we got to talk about before we go decide where he goes. You have to talk about the sins of the past and not recreating them. So if you go look at the state of Mason Mount, man's been injured for 2 years, hasn't done anything at this club, and he's on flipping, go up, what's he on? He's on 150 grand a week. But look at Mbeumo, come in straight away, hit the ground running, scored loads of goals in this league. Do you know what I mean? Sesko, what's he done in this league? Nothing. He's struggling to get going, 160 grand a week. Do you know what I mean? Then you go Harry Maguire. He's on his way out. He's on his last contract. You wouldn't give that again. That's different. You're not trying to do that again. So you look at Matheus Cunha. He's been playing at Wolves for a couple of seasons, scored a lot of goals, has come in, might not even be an automatic starter now. He's on 180 grand a week. Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's what's weird
he's what's weird with football. So he needs to sit in, whether we like it or not. Kobbie Mainoo needs to sit in the 150 to 100. He needs to be in that.
He needs to be, I think, in this sort of bracket here.
Yeah.
He needs to be in
120s, in and around Mazraoui's on 130. Look at Lenny Yoro's on 115 grand.
I mean,
look
at around
over
those
100.
kind of Ahmad numbers, you know, Ahmad, Yoro, I think in and around that. I mean, even that, look, Lenny Yoro, that's the price you get of going to get a player that Real Madrid, you've got to convince.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You've got to convince him, bro.
Because that's really, you know, still quite on the high side. What I will
100%.
say, actually, scrolling up, this is where I do think you can give Ineos credit, is you look at like these top earners, right? You go, right, Casemiro, obviously he's leaving.
It's never going to happen again.
That was the Bruno one. I think if you're going to say the highest paid player at the club, it should probably be Bruno Fernandes.
It's got to
right?
be Bruno.
The captain in terms of output. That De Ligt one, that's for me, is on the high side.
A little bit high, but he's played for nothing but big clubs. He's a big player. He's experienced, but it's still too high. It's still
that feels like one in the future that's going to be like, I don't know about that. We
wouldn't do that again.
The Harry Maguire one, like you said, wouldn't do that again. So that in terms of like the wages, they have managed to get the wage down quite significantly, haven't they? I mean,
and Bruno should be on what Sesko's on. That should be the
100, 150. The Seshka one's on the high side, like I said, the Cunha one's on the high side. But in comparison to what it was, you know, back in the day, like 5 or 6 years ago, you know, we'd have got Matheus Cunha and put him on 300, you know, 100%. Straight in, you know. So that is minimum. So that is, I think that is a positive. But as far as Kobbie, look, something, and you can maybe understand it, can't you? Like when he is. Him and then I'm sure he's got people in his ear, his agents, whatever. They're going, look, you realize you're earning the same amount as Aiden Heaven, who they're describing as a kid. You're meant to be like experienced, even though you're a young
and Diego
guy.
Leon and
Fredrickson.
Mental.
You know, Cheeto's just 10K less than you.
Tom Heaton, who's just there. Big up Tomo. He's experienced, so he's got his whole career, but he's on 45 bags a week, mate, for just keeping the keepers going.
It's the same like in the NFL. Was it a third string quarterback? A third choice goalkeeper is the best position, or third choice goalkeeper at a big club is the best position in football.
Scott Carson, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You will not play. You'll pay just to sort of be around. Occasionally, you might have to go in, but that's it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, as far as Kobbie, I mean, you would think it's going to be up and around.
You've got to start from 100. You have to start from 100.
You have to.
It's mad that Dallo's only on 85 a week though, because he's a senior player. I thought, but that shows they think he's shit as well. Because he should have really. He should, for how long he's been here. It should correlate to you're a really important player. You're really experienced, i.e., your wages reflect that. But you don't see him going, I ain't signing a new deal. He's like, he's fucking happy to be.
And you need room to grow, don't you, as well? This is the critical thing. Kobbie's still a young guy. So if you put him on this, you're still going, right, in 4 or 5 years' time, there's still ways to go up. If you put him...
You're best in the world, immediately, you can get
if you put him immediately like into that level, where'd you go in 5 years? Because you're only going to go up, aren't you, right? So, yeah, I think that range, that kind of around 100, 120, that's probably the right one. And to be fair, if he was going, I want like 200, you go, well, no, that's not.
Yeah, that's when you start saying that you'd actually taking the piss.
And when you do look at this, think of the amount of money we're going to save this summer, because Casemiro, like I said, gone, right? Per year, gross of like 18 million quid per year. You're going to save. That's just base wage. You know, bonuses, everything else goes into it. You're saving that. Plus Maguire, I'm assuming he's going to go, right? We haven't heard anything to say he's going to. And this is what you cannot keep him around on that, you know, like nearly 200K a week.
Yeah, so if he stays, he'll go right down.
Man United are saving like nearly close to like 30 million quid, you know, just off that, you know. So,
but then the new players coming in, you need to make sure that their wages. So say you say it's Casemiro for Baleba. Yeah, it will go from 350. You'll probably give Baleba like 150.
Yeah, but even that, it's crazy.
He's going to come for it. He's going to come for a big fee. So he's going to be on like 120s, 150s.
So we're looking in the summer, aren't we? There's probably going to be one player that's above that. Well, that's 300. That's going to be Bruno. No player will come and get 200, you know, or anything like that, unless we sign someone really high profile that we weren't thinking about. But it just goes to show like that wage bill is getting down. Remember, just a couple of years ago, there was like Casemiro, De Gea, like that wage bill was big. There was
Sancho, Rashford.
Sancho, like there were some big wages on that wage book at the moment.
Even Onana's wages were pretty hefty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And James made his point last night. It's not to say like, oh, so we're not willing now to pay big wages to get big players. I think it's one of those ones where it has to come down to go back up. So like you look at other top teams in the Premier League, like if you're a top team, you're going to have a big wage bill. Like that is what it is. Like City pay a lot on the wages. Arsenal pay a lot on the wages. Liverpool, their wages have started to go up. Like it just is. But you do to get to that point again, you do have to bring it down, don't you? You have to bring it down to where you're at. Like we can't go, oh, we're a mid-table team or we're a top 8 team, and then go like, well, but we've got one of the highest wage bills in the Prem. Like it has to. I know it has to adjust for where you're at.
So that's why you have to get some not mediocre players, but you got to get players who are within that bracket that understand that. That's why we can't go and get Mbappe. You can't go and get Bellingham. Can't get Vinicius. You can't get out and out superstars who are ready to go and not expect to give them that bread. You know what I'm saying? Gay on 300 grand a week apparently. Exactly. Because he's come at such a cheap fee, 20 million for a player of his quality and his experience, and then plus it's City. Do you know what I mean? They're just spending. Anytime there's shit that happens, spend, pay. That's why no one's got no sympathy for them. They can piss off. No one cares. Do you know what I mean? That they're going through a rough patch. It's up to them to fix it. They've got the resources to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for Kobbie, I just think I do need to make this clear. Like for me, I've always think Kobbie's a top talent. I think he should have been playing. You know what I mean? I didn't see why he shouldn't have. I do think we need to be careful. Here's because again, where two things can be true. I still think we need to be careful that this validation that's happened, and rightly so, because of someone like Kobbie Mainoo should be getting the best out of because he's too talented not to. But we still shouldn't go down the route of misprofiling him. This is what I've seen already. Like out of the excitement of he's free, he's playing, well done, Carrick, and out of not taking into context, which we spoke about, out of talking about what that looks like stat-wise with him running the other day, how he ran the furthest out of possession. This doesn't mean that, you can set Kobbie up in any midfield and ask him to cover loads of big spaces. It still has to be a plan. Like Kobbie Mainoo is not Kante. Okay? He's not. He can't get about the pitch. I just think, look, if you say he can't run, no, you need to look at where he can't run. Carl Anker said it best. Remember when he said he's a small space player playing in a big space team. That is the misprofiling of Kobbie. So unless you're thick and don't understand football, if you just jump on this hype now of, see, Carragher put up the thing, he can run everywhere. You're an idiot. You don't understand ball. You actually don't understand. Like, if you take it into context, you go, well, what that was he was covering a lot of small spaces on a consistent basis, which made him have to sprint a lot. That he can do. So when Amrim comes in and says he can't run, it's partly true because he can't run in my system. Which is wrong, by the way, but he can't run in that system. Michael Carrick saying he can run, but his running needs to look like this. That's the difference.
We spoke about this last night on Trafford Talk because the clip was going viral. It was going around of it was an episode of The Red Carpet. Is when I can't remember what game it was after. I wasn't on that show, but it was when Kobbie said, "No." James was like, "Well, are you ready to have the Kobbie conversation now?" And you and KG were criticized. You didn't cut him off. You didn't push back on him. And I said, well, James, this is a forum for you to explain what you meant. And we broke down that, like you said, that table of the running out of possession and all that kind of stuff, because it is kind of skewed and it is kind of, it's a specifically picked statistic because yes, Kobbie is at the top of that table, but at the same time, it's a game which in the league we probably had the least amount or one of the least amount of possessions we've had this season. So by definition, you're spending more time out of possession as is. So those stats are going to be higher. In addition to that, Kobbie Mainoo played 90 minutes. It's the first time he's played 90 minutes all season. And his midfield partner, for instance, Casemiro, did not play 90 minutes. So his statistics, his numbers should be higher than most other people in the team. And also, if anything, what that table did demonstrate more so than the Kobbie thing was actually a really well executed and defined game plan by Michael Carrick, because 4 out of the 6 names on that list were from the same game against Manchester City. and the other one was against Newcastle, which I think was another low possession game for us. So it does say something in that this notion that Kobbie can't run, which is completely, overblown as is not true. Kobbie can, cover those spaces
Of course he can.
if those spaces are small enough for him to cover because the team's set up that way. That's the way it is. And
How
what
simple
James
that
was
is.
saying, in fairness to him, he wasn't wrong, because when he said, like, because in the clip it was something like, so now you know why Kobbie's not playing. And really, James was just kind of repeating what Ruben had said, is that in my team, in my system, Kobbie's not mobile enough. Now, I think that because there was such a desire for Ruben Amorim to work, parts of the fan base took that verbatim of Kobbie can't run. And you go, well, that's not true. What Amorim's saying is he can't run for my system, which now is making Ruben Amorim look like a fool.
Yeah, which is crimes against football. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where it comes into Ruben Amorim decided exactly for what he wants in his team, his vision of what he wanted the team to be. There's no place for somebody like Kobbie. That's what he's saying. He's saying, I have two 6s or 2 8s or whatever you want to call it. I have 2 central midfielders, and 2 10s. My 2 central midfielders have to be able to cover massive spaces. They need to be top athletes. They need to be a Declan Rice. They need to be a Kante. They need to be a Elliot Anderson. They need to be a little bit like Baleba. That's what I see it. I don't want them to look like Kobbie. And what we're saying as United fans, while that's going on, because obviously we weren't winning games. It's not like it was for the better of the team. We weren't like if he did that and had us challenging for the league, you go, unlucky Kobbie. This is the wrong place, wrong time. Your skill set don't suit one of the best managers we've had post Fergie, and he's got us challenging for the league, mate. What can you say? What can you do? This is really unfortunate. I still think he should find a way to get you in, but this is really unfortunate because he's coming with this plan and we're challenging for the league. And we're winning. We're in the Champions League because we won the Europa League last year and we're doing well in the Champions. We look a completely different outfit, and you can't question Ruben Amorim. But because his system was so shit and he lost all them games, we were right and validated as fans going, you're not even doing this for a higher purpose. You're throwing out one of the best talents in European football for his age that we've seen him play at the highest level and seen him mix it with the best in the right system.
Wow.
And you're throwing that out. So in your system, he can't do that. And it's true. If you would have carried on playing him in your shit system, he wouldn't be able to cover them spaces. He wouldn't be able to get out and be all over the pitch. But if you play him how Michael Carrick played him, you will see Kobbie Mainoo running more intensely and go, hold on a minute, he can run.
But Flex, you went into the point scoring territory there. You said we were right. When you get into the we were right territory,
Good. And that's where KG's right. That's where you got a point score. That is where you got to go. You know why you have to do that? Because there's idiots. The reason why you have to do that is because there's idiots, again, that won't keep things within the context of what's happened. There's people that will go take it too far. That obviously Kobbie's been freed, so we can all get on board with that because he's allowed to play now, right? But don't take those running stats out of proportion and context to be like, it means he can do what Declan Rice does. It means you can just let him free. No, it still has to look like someone like Michael Carrick is doing with him. There has to be Kobbie. Kobbie is not, you can play him in any team and he'll be just as effective as if he's not. He's not that. He's not. But he's special enough that, you do need to have the right surroundings around him. Because I remember you were basically saying, well, how special is he if you have to give him this or you have to give him that? Well, how special of a 6 is Declan Rice if you have to give him certain things where it's not about the specialness, it's about where do you get the best out of the player? I would flip the question. You get the best out of Declan Rice by having him a little further forward as a left 8. Now, if you played him as a 6, he wouldn't be the worst one, but you're not getting the best out of him. You'll get the best out of Declan Rice by going, let's get someone like Zubimendi or Partey when he was doing his prime thing. Then we can get the best and complement all the players. Because where do you get the best out of Zubimendi? You get the best out of him by playing him deeper. That's how you build a squad. You don't build a squad by going, he's not that great if you have to give him things. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. But I would push back on that and say, with Declan Rice, for instance, use the example of Declan Rice. Yeah, like with any player, yes, if you surround them with the best environment and you're going to get the best out of them, sure. But people like Declan Rice, I feel like regardless of that, there is still a level of performance that you will get from him. Whereas
because he's just that good.
Yeah,
it's
with
just that good.
Kobbie, but with Kobbie, that's not that, as has been proven.
Because
He
he ain't
does
that
need
guy.
he does need those certain circumstances. So that's when again we as a fan base do overrate it a
Play to
little
the
bit.
strengths. Yeah,
You
because
know what I
some people
mean?
are like, right, Kobbie can do everything. He
You
can't do
cannot
everything.
just drop Kobbie into the midfield and be like,
No.
he's going to be really good. There's going to be
No.
a base level of him. You know what I mean? Whereas
Exactly.
with Declan Rice, maybe you can, and maybe that's the difference.
100%, and that's why they're a different type of player because Declan Rice possesses a natural athleticism, yeah, and a power to his game. Forget on the ball and stuff, because on the ball, Kobbie can, he's excellent on the ball. Like, he can mix it with the best. As an engine, as a powerhouse, as an athlete, Rice is a better athlete than Kobbie Mainoo, like all round. Okay, so that's why Rice, you can put him anywhere, but then, like someone said, in the pivot, you're not going to get the best out of Rice because on the ball from deep, he's not a carrot. He can't dictate play from there. That people say that he's not really that guy. You're not going to get the best from him there. It's like saying also with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, he's brilliant further forward, but you wouldn't say, yeah, but if he's that good, he should be able to play a little bit deeper in midfield. Should be able to play in the midfield. No, it's not what he is. It's not what he can do. It's not.
Well, and also
as
well, like he is 20. You know what I mean? There's still
exactly.
There's more of Kobbie Mainoo's career to go than has already transpired. Like there's so much we don't know about Kobbie Mainoo right now. It's just because it's been so much focus and debate about him. And I'm kind of, to be honest, happy when even if the contract doesn't get sorted for a little bit, just a run in the team, hopefully will just sort of quiet down these Kobbie conversations, because I am a bit tired of just, if we lose a game, suddenly that's like it will happen this weekend. Like, let's say we don't get the result we want against Arsenal, then somehow that will turn into, like we showed the other day, I thought playing back four at the back and putting Kobbie into this team was going to fix things. Like, Kobbie became, for some reason, this like, oh, if you play him and lose, see, that's kind of his fault. He's not actually that good. You're by saying you want him to play, you think he's going to come in and fix Man United's issues, which was never that was never the discussion. It was never like, oh, Kobbie should play because if Kobbie plays, we're definitely going to win. It wasn't even that. It was just Kobbie should play because we're not doing too great anyway. Why not give him a go? And also, he's a young player coming through the academy. Shouldn't we be encouraging that kind of talent to thrive and succeed at Manchester United?
Exactly.
Instead,
It
it turned into, like, when Kobbie would come on for 5 minutes when we were like 2-0 down and we would still lose the game. Oh, see, what did Kobbie do for you? And that's when you get into, when we touched on the point scoring stuff, that's when it got so out of hand, where Kobbie did become this kind of like, oh, he's one of the problems with the club, which he never was. Like he never was. Why he became this sort of
target,
again, point scoring sort of object to use in your favor was just bizarre, wasn't it? Like, because we would be losing a game, Kobbie would get these,
dead like minutes can't do anything.
minutes at the end, and then for some reason that would be like used as this point scoring device of, see, Ruben is right, and Ruben is right, and Kobbie is overrated, and you go like Show says now in the chat, a reason not to play Kobbie Mainoo became he played against Grimsby, which was fucking ridiculous. Like that was
Joaquin said it,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and how did he play, Gary? And how did he play?
Which was so ridiculous.
One bad game.
So what I would be glad with this run in the team of, hopefully that just ends. Hopefully that's just enough, because as we proved the other day, if we keep winning, those people will disappear because we have still yet to hear from them. Well, I'm half expecting if we lose at the weekend, then suddenly they'll be back. Oh,
they will be.
I'll drop a comment again. Even though I didn't after the game we won, I only come back for when we lose. And fan channels are the problem. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, for what it's worth, I do think Kobbie will sign a new contract. I do. I think he'll sign it now. Obviously, Rob Dorset was saying, look, he wants to stay as well. It's not like they have to convince him. That the reporting of the exclusive is, they've made contact with his camp and he does want to stay. The only thing I would say is it is interesting how quickly football can change and how quickly it could change again potentially, because Kobbie does have to consider who the next manager is going to be. He does have to consider that, because if it's a person which we don't know yet, because we don't know, if it's a person who sees Kobbie the same way Ruben Amorim did, but in a different system, then he's in trouble again. Do you know what I mean? And he could. I'm not saying I don't know I don't know out of who's available on the menu would see Kobbie that way in a negative. Like if Thomas Tuchel came in, I would think he would use him.
You never know.
But you just don't know. You just don't know what manager we're gonna get. You don't know. The fact is, he doesn't know who that manager is going to be. If it's Carrick and Carrick gets the job full time, he'd probably sign a 10-year extension because he'd be like, I know he loves me. But you don't know. But he would have to sign it with a feeling or a reassurance from Ineos that, listen, we've learned our lesson. Part of, not that you're giving special treatment to Kobbie like he's some big superstar already, but we've had a chat with. We will give you the assurances that the person we do choose, we're not going down that route of somebody who doesn't appreciate players as good as you. But I
would think once he signed if he signs a new deal before that decision,
but Kobbie weren't playing. Kobbie weren't playing.
That's what I was going to say with Tuchel. Tuchel will fall out of anyone. Like,
he will. That's true.
With Kobbie, maybe if he's put pen to paper, let's say on a 5-year deal before they've brought in a new manager, then you would think at least part of the conversations with whoever they're interviewing would be, look, Kobbie's an asset now. He's not going anywhere. So how do you get the most out of him? That's what it should be like.
That's part of this job for him. This interview.
Exactly.
One of the questions: how do you get the best out of Kobbie?
And it wouldn't just be for Kobbie. You would those things will happen with any star player that isn't going anywhere. They have those conversations of, you know what I mean? Like, okay, how do you? We spent a lot of money on Benjamin Šeško. You know, he's going to have a year left. You know, in terms of before we make a decision if he's going to stay or go. How are you going to get the best out of him? Or we signed Brian Mbeumo last year. How would you have him in this system? You know, with those things, they'd be, you know what I mean? They'd be having those conversations.
But the Tuchel thing at England, I do get it where people are like, because like shows that, you know, he even called up Walker. He's all terrible, Henderson, all this. But you have to think of it where, again, context is key. He's not there for a long time. So he's the type of guy just trying to draw an experience in a really condensed period of time to achieve one quick thing. This in the summer. A project like, you know, look when he was at Chelsea, Mason Mount was a star. Mason Mount was young and Reece James was a star. Like, you know, Kai Havertz was a star. Like, you can't. There's different ways of doing things when you're at a club versus at country, at international level. Smash the like, people. Big up to yourselves on this
super chats.
Fine Friday. Let's get the super chats done. Terence Pace says wanted to big up the Man United women's side for making it to the League Cup final. Big up to them. Big win for them. I think it's the first time they've made it as well. Also,
what
are your
opinions? The cups in recent seasons?
Yeah, exactly. Also, what are your opinions on Mateta? Should we tempt him this month? Well, we've both been admirers of Arteta. I know you definitely have.
Mateta.
It's just money, innit? I think I'm saying if you can't be in a worse position if you've got Mateta and Šeško, like Mateta to learn, like Šeško to learn off Mateta, a different type of striker. But I would probably not do it now because I think under Michael Carrick, we've seen he's not scared to use Mbeumo as a striker with Šeško still to come in there. And then when you get to the summer, I'm still not sure. What I was saying yesterday is Mateta's got the question mark, which is unfair to him, but it just exists. Is this the real him now? Is this the new him? Because it's all right doing it for Palace, where you are a handful, 100%. But what would he be like if he's the main guy at Man United or the sub guy? Would he want to be the sub guy at Man United? Because he's at a period of his career where he's in the French team now. He's the main guy at Palace. Would he want to come into Man United? And what does that do? You get the best out of Mateta if he's not the main guy and you're asking him just to come in? These are questions you got to ask. Because I do rate the player.
I would say when it comes to the whole, you know, Michael Carrick's not afraid to play Mbeumo, that is one game. So we still don't know because that is it's one game and it's a derby game, one-off. We don't really know what the...
And even if he does it against Arsenal, it's still not true.
Exactly. We don't really know what the sort of normal Carrick setup would be or what have you. I'm a Mateta fan. You know, I think that I do think it's funny that like 12 months ago it was Crystal Palace. Now it's like Mateta bring. On the older side... But he would be cut price because he's obviously, you know, contract situation and he wants to leave. Palace are in a bit of a state of flux, and they were Glasner going. Yeah. I'd take him.
I don't mind the age if he's good enough.
He would be probably, you know, bench, start player, depends on the wages. There's a lot of ifs there. But
I just don't know what version you get of him if he's not the guy starting every game.
If Xerxes does go, which he might still get Mateta in. I know it's a younger guy for an older guy, but I'd have Mateta. Yeah, and if anything, I think any big club he goes to, he would probably be in that same bracket anyway. Of like, is he a starter? Well, he's a starter, but he could be on the bench certain games. I think they would probably have that role in a lot of teams. So I think for us, what goes in his favour is that
we're not in the position. Like, if you look at the big teams that are going for the titles, yeah. So you look at, even though City shit right now, but obviously look at City. Obviously, Haaland's a joke. You look at Arsenal, they're going for the title, and you look at like Liverpool, will be going for the title probably next season, etc. Once they fix up, like we're at a point where we're not ready to do the title thing yet. So you do need guys that can help now. So would it be a hindrance if we had him? No, but I don't know. I don't know if you get the version of him that's at Palace, because he might not be the main guy. Tavares says, screenshot this. Mainu will be on that flight to the States come June. Next season, him in the 10 with Baleba and Anderson behind him, who says no. I'm interested with the to make the prediction about the World Cup. I always thought it weren't going to be enough time. Obviously, I didn't think Amrin would get sacked, so I always thought that wouldn't happen. Even with Amrin being sacked, he's got to do a lot, and Man United have got to look really good. That's what I would say. That's what he's got to have 16 basically flawless games. Could he get in the squad in March? I don't know, man.
I don't think he goes. I don't think he goes World Cup. I mean, look,
what a turnaround that would be if he did.
I mean, one thing I will say, look, we've gone in the space of 7 days. We've gone from him, he might go in January to he's going to get a new contract. So who knows?
Yeah,
what happens
exactly.
In,
it changes so fast.
But I'd probably say
it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Who would he go instead of? Would he go instead of like Henderson?
There's just lots of options in that England team, aren't there? You know what I mean? There are in that position specifically. You know what I mean?
Anderson. Anderson's the starter right now. Wharton,
Rice,
Bellingham, Rice, Gallagher, but he's not really in it like that. Morgan Gibbs-White 10, Rodgers 10. I don't know. He could take Henderson's spot.
Yeah, I don't think he should, Jordan Henderson, but I think I could see him going just because sometimes they like to have an old player in the squad, don't they? You know what I mean?
Experience, yeah. Nemgri says, Wagwan boys, Owen, behave on pronunciation. You thought you'd be saying that. Yeah, I mean, dodgy, but you're getting there. I'm dreaming, but if we get Enrique, can you imagine how good Kobbie would be? Also, we should buy Wanyeri. Well, Arsenal would probably never sell him to us. And two, if you look at Ahmad and Mbumo, we've got 2 right wingers, and then if we play with a right 8, which is where he wants to play, or a 10, don't think we would go for Wanyeri, but that's interesting. Asher agrees. Matt says every player has strengths and weaknesses. Kobbie isn't a strong runner. We said this before, Ruben, but it doesn't make him a bad player, though. Exactly. That is the simplest way of putting it. That's it. He's not a strong runner over big distances, but over small distances, we've just seen he can be. There you go. That simple.
Can I ask you a question, Fleck? Can I ask you a question? Yeah. I saw in the chat earlier on, and it might have been Show said, Flex, you had a stinker yesterday on DR.
Yeah,
is what was said. Now I haven't seen this. I have just seen a clip. I have just seen a clip on DR clips. I'll bring it up here. It just says the Arsenal Man United game is going to be generational viewing. Now, before I click play, is there any thing you want to say?
Oh, that's an old. Well, this wasn't where I went crazy because this is when I had the cape on, saying I think we're going to win. Yesterday's what? If it was yesterday's show, which that isn't.
Okay, I'll try and find a clip.
That's where I've. Listen, I'll tell you straight, guys.
What did you do?
I've done a madness. Said we're going to win. Believe. I've taken
the chat's going. What did you do, Flex?
No, I've done a madness.
Flex was poo-poo. Flex put in a shocking performance.
Yeah, guys.
Flex was on smoky settings.
Big up you, Wrap Up Heaven. I've told you lot, I'm fed up with being miserable. I'm going with belief. I believe we're going to win. So I just went full chest. I don't care. I believe we're going to win. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, is it this one? Is it this one?
It's that one.
Robbie versus Flex got extremely heated.
Yeah. I think we're going to win. I've gone for it, Owen. Chest.
What did you do?
No fence, no nothing. I think we're going to win.
What did you do? Let's have a look. All right.
What I'm not going to do is let you sit there and talk about like we ain't got no threats.
I didn't say you.
Yes, you are. Because I'm not saying you ain't got no carrying on like.
First of all, I mean, there's 6 seconds in. You are going crazy.
Yeah, because by this point, hold on, just for context before you press play. By this point, this is like halfway through it. They've obviously clipped it from here onwards. But it started off normal, and Robbie started doing the whole just discrediting our players and acting like we can't do nothing. Obviously, it's the Emirates. You know what time it is. So I'm like, I just wanted to big up the chest. Fuck it.
All right.
Yeah. Boy, remember warning. Do you want a warning? You need a warning because Ahmad's back and he's on the right wing, bro. So you need a warning. Yeah? So tell Miles Lewis Skelly, or
You're
whoever's
fired
waiting
up.
for him, is it Timber? Whoever's a left back is,
Calafiori's back.
well, tell him, I hope
Yeah.
I hope you're fitting ready after your little left.
Calafiori's
I'm back in it.
He gives a shit.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying, Owen? You're like, he's telling me in this thing. I'm defending. What I said is I'm fed up of not defending. I'm fed up of being miserable. I'm believing. So obviously, I know what type of task it is to go there. He was saying like, oh, you think we're going to be City? I said, I never said that. I said it's going to be difficult to beat you, but I believe we're going to win. And he was like, why are you saying this after one game? You're deluded, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, don't take my confidence away from you. You're acting like we ain't got no threats, bro. And Bruno was here. He scored in the big games. Ahmad's back. He's playing on the right wing. I said, I did say Ballon d'Or. Don't get me wrong. I said, Bruno.
That's right.
I said, Bruno is the player that you think Odegaard is. Like, don't disrespect Bruno. He can come and do damage. So I just backed it.
Left because Ahmad's got something for you.
Let me just
Tell him
tell
that.
you
Tell him that Ballon d'Or is coming. Who's right? Benjamin White. We got Steve Holland, bro. He don't like Ben White. He got dashed out of the England camp last time he saw him, bro. So Ben White, what's the plan we got for you, bro? Yeah, that's and Bruno. And like I said, who's gonna lock down Bruno Fernandes? Who's gonna stop him having
got
great
Robbie's
passes?
face.
Like I
got the
saw
answers.
your guys.
Watch this.
You was on this video. Oh, I wish we had a maverick like Bruno Fernandes. I saw it on AFTV. It was on the Clips channel. Bring it up. It was you. It was Curtis.
I don't know. I said I wish
I was there.
I wish I had Bruno.
Curtis was on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Remember that.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Rob.
I don't remember that. That's
Exactly,
nasty
Owen.
work,
So
Mr.
you
Lyle.
see-
That is
Owen-
nasty work.
Time out, yeah? See how they're saying I had a shocker? I didn't have a shocker. I defended us, bro. And I didn't let them get away with talking crap, talking nonsense. And you said, Owen, remember you said, Flex, bring this to them. Don't let them get away with it. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Run VT.
Robbie, I saw the clip. Bring it up right now, guys. It's not going to get copyrighted because it's his channel. Yeah? You can't demonetize it. Get it up on AFTV clips right now. Curtis is sitting there going, I was watching them man there. I was watching them man against Man City. And I was looking at Bruno. And I was like,
Robbie's trying
where's
to
our
remember.
Bruno?
He's trying
Where's
to
our
remember.
Bruno?
Yeah, Curtis might have
And
said that.
you in the top
I
left.
said I like him.
You in the top left box was going,
That's true.
oh, hold on a minute. Hold
And then they brought it up.
on.
They brought it up. They brought it
The
up.
video title is called "We Need a Bruno Type Maverick."
Yeah, but I never titled that.
Oh,
I never titled that.
It's your channel. Fuck off, Robbie. What are you talking about? It's your channel. I never titled it that. The master deflection.
So show, where is this shocking performance, by the way? Because I'm on the front foot, bro. I'm applying pressure, bro. Yeah, the pressure that needed to be put on these guys because they're trying to dismiss our players. And when it comes to Bruno, I'm not having it. When it comes to Ahmad, I'm not having it. I'm defending our players, saying we can beat you. Saying we're gonna beat you. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
With the classic. Well, I didn't title that.
I didn't do it. Yeah,
It's
look
your
at him.
channel,
I didn't tell him to. I didn't tell him to title it. Terrible.
That's AFTV extra. That's not AFTV. Right?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's not me who's done that video.
No, but I'm saying you're part of it.
It's
Part of the
AFTV
fact
There's
extra.
four people in the video.
Oh,
Curtis said it, and now you were saying I said it.
Look at
Right?
this.
Just like when man was saying
Roll the tape.
Right?
You to me.
Let me
He
tell you.
said it, and you
Anyway,
was
as
agreeing
I
with him.
said, let me get back to the subject. Right?
Look at this.
I'm saying to you, right?
Look at
This
this.
man, they've had one game that they've played good in all season, right? And this guy's coming with so much smoke. Let me tell you something. You are forgetting who you're coming up against.
Ooh.
Gabriel and Saliba and Timber and Declan Rice, right? All of them are available. All of them will be playing. You're not going to be able to do what I saw you do last
I
week.
know that.
Right?
I know that.
How many? You can
this.
double up to how many people were you playing with 22 players?
No,
Because every minute, all I keep hearing you say is double up, double up,
can.
double up.
Oh, we
got
can.
two goalkeepers.
Well, you don't need that.
You're gonna have two
What are you
goalkeepers.
talking about? We can double.
What is he talking about?
And then this is what I'm saying. So
What is
hear
it?
this bit now. So basically, what he tried to go into was that you're taking us for City. You think you're going to come and steamroll us? Because I never said that. I said how we beat you is not going to be how we beat City. And then he's talking about doubling up. I think I went on to say, and I said it in another video. People say, what? You got 22 players. Do people not understand how football's played? To double up, all you need to do is go to the side the ball's on and double up. Then you leave the other guy free 1v1. Then when the ball goes over that side, you run over there and double up. Obviously, you can't double up at all points of the you can't double up every single player. You double up the player who's got the ball. It's that simple. Go on, carry on. This is how I explained it. Go on. Go on.
Double. What
You're getting smoked.
What are you
bro.
talking?
You're getting smoked.
Now, see that? Now
You're
you're
getting
getting
And then he
smoked.
said you're
Like
getting
every
smoked.
other
Angry.
team,
Now we're
your
getting smoked.
only hope.
Now we're getting some. What?
Your only hope.
What's it going to be? 3-0?
Let me tell you
4-1?
something.
What's it going to be?
Your only hope
Oh,
is the hope
smoked.
is your only hope is to park the bus, like what Man City did, like what Liverpool did,
So?
right? If you come,
He's already starting that narrative. So if we get something, by the way, then it's going to be, well, you just came part of the bus. You didn't come to play football. This, that, and the other. They've already, that to me, that's laying your foundations. That's planting some seeds for if we get a negative result, isn't it? That's the asana of, well, they might actually come there and do us, So if they do, they didn't come to play football. There was only one team playing football there. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you open up, you're done.
We don't need to. We can pick our moments and we can beat. Why are you acting like? Hold on. Why are you acting like it's impossible? This is your problem. You're acting like what I'm saying is impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
So why are you saying like?
Why are you talking? Why are you
about Man City? This is a different game.
I'm saying, are you serious? You're yes.
By the way, this got real quite quick, didn't it? This is getting very real,
bro.
This is getting very real.
This is proper stuff. Yeah,
we can beat you.
One game, this man event.
We can win, bro.
What's your score prediction for the game?
2-1 Manchester United.
I'm shook.
The way the man was talking.
I hear you.
No, I wasn't.
I hear you saying, "Oh yeah, we can get a result," but how confident you are about going to the Emirates? No team has gone there this season and just winning like that because of this result against. I hear it, but last show you said I'm gonna remain calm. Carrick's not at the wheel. I ain't driving the bus down the M1. And now, listen. Let me tell you something. Listen, if Carrick is capable of getting this win at the Emirates, you need to hand him that permanent job.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
See what are they doing?
Right.
What are they doing?
Right. Hold on. Right. Hear this bit now. Yeah. So here's now also, guys, where I've also been true to what I said as well. So remember when I was like, I'm never gonna joke about the thing and all of this stuff. Yeah. So I was consistent in that. And then secondly, this is what they're trying to do now. First, they call me. This is what they're doing. Hear this. First, they call me deluded, right? This is how you know the neutrals are mad. They call me deluded, because I'm getting chest off of one game. But what they're saying is if after 2 games, if he's done that, give him the job. Do the Ollie thing. Give him the job. What is it?
It's nasty what they're... So you got Robbie, who's already tried to sort of plant seeds for excuses if Arsenal don't win at the weekend, of like they've parked the bus, they haven't played football. You've got Matisse, who's basically telling people you're going to think this in a couple of games. And if you don't, I've already decided that's what you're going to think. You know what I mean? So if you do get a result against Arsenal, then you might as well give Carrick the job. And you might as well...
And they're all cussing me for not... And they're all cussing me that I shouldn't have the confidence after one game, but I should have it after 2.
And you're going to be the Carricks at the wheel. Go, whoa. This is you saying this, Rasidia. This is not us. You know what I mean? This is nasty work.
Oh,
yeah, you
do. Because Ruben Amorim broke the 9 year.
You better give him that job.
Ruben Amorim, listen.
Hand it over.
Ruben Amorim broke the 9-year hoodoo at Liverpool earlier this season. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I think you're misconstruing what I'm saying.
No,
I've said
many.
No, we heard you.
Hold on a second.
No, we're not.
Heard you, brother.
Because you are. I'm gonna lay it down.
No.
I'm gonna lay it down.
Carrick, I'm not laying down.
No.
Let me. You already said
get it before someone else does.
Don't lose your energy now,
Robbie. They gotta get Carrick before someone else does. Tottenham might be in the mark.
Don't lose the energy now. Right. I tell you what, I wasn't expecting Robbie to be this rattled. To be honest, he's
crazy, bro.
He's quite defensive.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't let me address my thing. They wouldn't let me talk.
Yeah, I thought more defensive.
Listen, it's not about Michael. It's not about the result. It's about. Let me address what he's saying about Michael Carrick. About if he wins against Arsenal, give him the job and stuff. What you're talking about, I'm not on none of that. I'm not on none of that.
But you're saying that he's changed you that much in the time that he's been there. So why?
That doesn't mean he should get the job. That doesn't mean to get the job. You lot are telling me to do. You lot are saying, "Oh, you done the interim thing before with Ollie," and then now I'm saying I'm not on it. You're telling me to do it. Against us. Which one is it?
If he can change your chest after a week like that, what could he do in a month?
Yeah, because we won the derby. Like they won. That's like an interim coming in at Arsenal, winning the North London derby. By 2-0 or maybe 3-0, and then having chest the next week, and then people go, well, you shouldn't have chest. Well, why wouldn't you have a little bit of chest? You know what I mean? Like, you know what, Flex, and this is going to shock a lot of people. I am going to defend you, right? I don't think you put in a bad performance there.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I think you had to defend yourself. I think you were surrounded by 2 Arsenal fans on the panel, which is ridiculous, and Matisse, who. You want to talk about talking with chess and not talking with chess? What's going on with him at the moment in his club? Yeah. I saw him put up a post on his YouTube page being like, I was there at the game and it was awful.
I said yesterday on the show, I goes, guys, this is a worldwide exclusive because nobody knows Matisse's thoughts on the game last night because he didn't do a review. So this is a world exclusive. you know what I mean? And like Daniel Luciano says, Fletch, you've done well 3v1. Guys, listen, right. I'm not gonna sugarcoat or hide anything what I've done. This ain't no reverse thing or nothing. All I'm on, right, is just believing. I told you, you lot know the story. I had the chat with Coley and I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna be on. Fed up of being miserable, fed up of not backing them. People said in the chat after the Man City game, which the players gave me a chance to actually do it for once. Missed that flex. I've missed that version of myself as well. Yeah. That is the gobshite. That's what I actually am. But this team has driven us to points where you can't. That sucked all of that out. So, yeah, in one game, it's brought it back. But guess what? If we lose against Arsenal, guess what? I'm going to monumentally hold it. And I will. You know me. I'll be there. But at the end of the day, where they're doing this saying, like, we can't do this and we can't do that, why can't we? We've got Ahmad. We've got Bruno. Yeah. We've got Cunha off the bench. We've got Mbeumo up front. Why can't we?
It is a bit wild to get that sort of defensive by you saying, like, we can go there, we can get a result. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Owen, the reason why they got angry is because I didn't say we can. I said we will. I said we're going to beat you. That's what's making them angry. But that's what's making them angry. They're like, if you would have said, obviously you can get a draw, or they want me to just have less chest than that. That's where they're getting angry, because I said 100% we're going to beat you. That's the bit where they're like, I don't care. I believe it. I believe we're going to win. Fuck it. I believe it.
And we're remembering, if we do, it's just because we've parked the bus, and you know what I mean? We've parked the bus.
Exactly. And I said, and he goes, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and sit in? I goes, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to do what it takes to win the game. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
This is where Robbie is the king as well, because to twist, well, we'll double up on certain players. What are you going to do that with 22 players? Are you? You're going to do
it was nasty work. And then, do you know what the maddest thing is? The maddest thing is seeing a clip of your own video go,
I got to do that.
Extra. But that means you're trying to also say that that's not me. That show didn't happen.
It's got AFTV on it, but I've got nothing to do with that. And also, I was on the show. It's a channel that's got AFTV on it. I was in the show. It's Forever Arsenal, an AFTV show, and he's like, nothing to do with me, mate. I don't really talk about.
It's on the Clips channel, mate. Didn't happen.
So clips. I did make that title, so you know. Even though in the video, Curtis goes, "We need a Maverick." It's not even necessarily like the title is like nothing to do with the video. Yeah, it's a rogue editor. It's like it's said in the video. Don't know what you're talking about. You nodded. You nodded with it. You agreed with it. Yeah, but I didn't say what title of the video. So
this is what I was working with yesterday, guys. Full Gegenpress from 3v1. That's what, and I carried that through the whole day onto AFTV. You'll see the preview of Robbie on Saturday as well tomorrow. Yeah, in fact, we're trying to, because Josh was like, listen, we did such good stuff. I was going to say to you, might come out today. It was so good. We probably need to get one of them out today. Also, guys, I want you guys to follow along as well. I've done a predicted 11 for this game. We don't normally do predicted 11s here, but before, you know what? Big game, why not? And it's a good way of having a little bit of a reference point. It's kind of like some in-house competition between all of us, and a bit of a reference point just to have some interest. Get involved when that comes out. Let me know what your predicted 11 is. Put it in the comment box of the video that I do, which is the predicted 11 as well. And I also use it as a chance to talk about Sonny Lummons, actually, in terms of actually his biggest compliments. We don't talk about him very often. So it was a chance to just kind of, because obviously spoiler alert, I'll give you one spoiler. I predicted he'd start the game because it was an easier, don't just a spoiler. But I used it as a chance to actually talk about him because, he's been quietly just doing his business, which is the biggest compliment you can give him. So big up to yourselves. When you see the predicted 11, please get involved. If you enjoy it and think we should do it more, leave some feedback on the video as well, and get involved. Before we leave, actually, Casemiro exit confirmed. I want to thank Big Cass.
Yeah, exactly. It was announced yesterday by Manchester United and Casemiro that indeed he would be leaving at the end of the season. There was some confusion. I know one of the people, Super Chatters in yesterday's Trafford Talk, was saying that he'd been given this ultimatum to take a lesser deal or what have you. I can't find that anywhere. All of the different outlets say that this was a decision that was actually made a while ago. And it was Casemiro's call, as Asher chokes, it was Casemiro's call because he wanted just to avoid any speculation about his future. So he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. So some very good words saying that he'll always be a Red, always be a Manchester United fan. And it's a difficult one to discuss with Casemiro, isn't it? Just purely because when you judge his time at Man United, if it's a success or not, his transfer fee and wages come into it. And with that, you can go, then it's never going to be value for money or a success. But that's also not his fault in terms of his effort, application, contribution. He's been consummate professional, consummate pro, isn't he? He's top class.
Yeah, I think
you're in the peak of his. Yeah,
I think Casemiro did what Casemiro was the maximum of what he could do. Like say, be a top pro, got understanding of the game in the right setup where he's not left on an island. He can contribute.
Yeah, exactly.
His turnaround from where he was last season to here is massive. What he did in the first season was good work. There was genuine conversations. You can call it silly or whatever, but the conversations at the time was who's the best defensive midfielder in the league. It was my man Partey, him.
Yeah, Partey.
Rice wasn't even playing there at that point. It was Rice and Casemiro vibe. It sounds silly saying that now, where both are, but that's just what was going on with the form. And I would say, that goal in the Carabao Cup final, I was there. Got us off to a good start. Header. How many big goals did he score? Important goals, goal threat. But I'm with you though. It's not. We don't really want to talk about it because we want to just have the sentimental bit of thank you, Cass, which he deserves, and none of it was his fault. But if you're looking at it from a business perspective of saying, was this move good value for money? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't. It wasn't. Even though the standards in the dressing room, conduct, it shouldn't have come at the cost of £70 million and 350 grand a week for 4 years. This was the problem, wasn't it? Is that no, it wasn't value for money, but critically, it was never going to be value for money as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was
unless Manchester United won the league, then it was going to be value for money. It was never going to be value for money. So with one arm tied behind his back, he still managed to deliver a couple of trophies, even though he didn't play in the FA Cup final, but he was critical in that campaign leading up to that point.
Yeah, broke the 6-year trophy curse. Exactly.
Scored in the Carabao Cup final, and again, he's been put in some difficult positions in some tactical setups that have not helped him or suited him at all. With Ten Hag and points of Amorim, he still managed to win around Amorim and win round Ten Hag. So.
He's a real team player,
top player, team player, top pro. I don't blame him.
Kobbie Collier was starting ahead of him, bro.
Yeah, I don't blame him for not leaving until the end of his deal because he's not going to get 350k a week anywhere else. Why would he? Yeah. Why would he not take that? So, but it's the right time, definitely the right time.
Like
but I think he'll stay in Europe. Go to Italy or go to wherever. He'd do well.
Like he said, 4 months of fighting for this badge, and he'll fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He'll try and get us into Europe with everything. And this is similar to the Rafa.
It's the right move, but we will miss him.
Go.
But we will.
You miss these type of characters in your dressing room, their leadership, their experience, how they conduct themselves. It was a bit different with Rafa because he had his injuries, obviously. Casemiro less so. Been quite available, to be fair to him. Not really never injured. So big up Casemiro. Was set up to fail with the transfer fee and the wages. Like I said, not his fault. But he did the maximum of what his capabilities could give us. He could have been a lot worse. So big up to him. Loyal servant, top pro.
Yeah.
And a pleasure to have had him. You know what I mean? You see one of the best midfielders ever in that position, in that period. We've seen him play and he's been at our club. Same with Rafa. So it's just a shame that we're getting the not so good side of these guys. I want to get back to where Man United can have guys in their peak,
It's a shame that if he came into a well-oiled, successful team, he'd have probably been quite successful in the last few years. You know what I mean? Because he is that. Like, let's say he went into Man City, he'd probably do quite well. There.
Look at Thiago Silva at Chelsea.
He could have been. So he just came into a sort of chaos team on a big transfer fee and wage that was probably it was one of the highest for a player over 30. So again, it was just never going to be like that. But at the same time, like I said, I think. This idea that maybe, coming out of Real Madrid, he wasn't actually that good of a player. He was just in a great midfield has kind of been proven to not be true. Like there's a lot about Casemiro. He's not just this sort of, shithouse tackler. You know what I mean? Can do a bit on the ball, goal threat as well. Good leader in the dressing room. Good player. You know what I mean? And the fact that you have to almost justify that about someone that's won as many Champions Leagues and titles as him is kind of nuts, but is what it is. He took the risk
and the stuff that he couldn't
do.
And the stuff he couldn't do, he was aware he couldn't do that. He's never been that. And then when we were trying to ask him to do stuff, it would hurt your eyes. The Casemiro special, I always call it, ball around the corner, or Casemiro special, he dives in because space too much. Those things were going to happen because of, like you say, look at who was playing alongside and what team he was in. So, big up Casemiro. Big up to each every single one of you. Of course, it is the Trinity later on this afternoon, Michael Carrick will be speaking to the press this afternoon as well. Is it back to usual time?
Yeah.
I would believe.
Yeah.
So that's good. We'll get the quotes from that. And we go from there. The Arsenal content will be drip feeding probably after the Trinity in the evening. So look out for that. Get involved. And it's all focused for that, guys. All focused for that. If we get any different type of news in that time, we shall bring it to you. We read that one as well. Exactly. Big up to each and every single one of you. We'll see you later on today. We're out of here. Good morning. Peace.